Hey beer tubers, it's Ryan back with episode 99 of San Diego Beer Vlog. Thanks for joining me. Got a very special beer today. If you can't tell already by this unlabeled bottle, this is the Westvleteren 12 or Westvleteren 12, aka one of the most highly rated beers in the world. This is a Trappist style dark ale. Unfortunately, you cannot buy this in the United States right now. The only way to get it is through trading, and the only way to get this beer is either drink it at a bar near the Abbey itself, or to go get on a list and pick the beer up directly by the case, which is a cool looking wooden crate of a case that you can get this beer in at the Abbey itself. So yeah, this is a Trappist beer brewed by monks in Belgium. So I'm going to use a quarter trick to save this cap because I'm not into saving caps, but this is one cap and it's coming out. Alright. I've had this sitting out for a while, so hence the foam over. But I was wondering what kind of head I was going to get on this beer, because I got this in a trade with Chad. Chad's Beer Reviews, Chad9976. He has a nice contact over there in Europe somewhere that can get him this beer, and so Daniel got a bottle of this. This is this cap actually doesn't have a date on it. Normally they put the best by date. This one doesn't. He told me this is a 2-year-old bottle though, and I might be one of the few beer reviewers who has actually had this beer before I reviewed it, because it seems like most everyone else, they do it on camera first time. I actually traded for this one a while back, trying to keep most of the yeast out of it. I traded for it, tried it, but that was a 3-year-old bottle actually, and so this one's gonna be a little fresher. So I ended up getting about a 1-finger head in my Chimay chalice here. Color-wise, it's very dark brown, maybe mahogany. I actually can't see a whole lot of light through. You get a little bit of a brown tint on the bottom. It's almost like a very dark brown, or almost even like a really dark red on it. So let's get the aroma on it. Yeah, it's a little different than I remember. When I tried this, I got no head on this beer, the 3-year-old bottle. This one definitely smells fresher. It's a very sort of mild but complex aroma on this beer. It's very kind of mellow. The fact this beer's been bottled for 2 years, and I mean, you get a lot of raisin and plums, fig, just those dark fruits. A little bit of caramel malt. I mean, just the yeasty esters going. Except for, I don't know if they ferment this at maybe a lower temperature than some other Trappist ales, but a lot of Trappist ales have a good amount of a spice character coming from the yeast strains. This one's much more subdued. It doesn't quite have the spices. Yeah, maybe just a touch, maybe a touch of spice, kind of yeast ester quality to it, but this is a big beer too. I forgot to give you the ABV. It's 10.2%. All the info is on this cap. So 10.2%, it's a Belgian quadruple, or if you want to call it a strong dark ale. It's a big beer, so I'm looking forward to digging into this one. I've had it sitting out, so I think it's probably good temperature. It's probably around 55 degrees or so, maybe slightly warmer. So I'm going to dig in. Cheers to you guys for watching in episode 99. Yeah, that's better than I remember, actually. It's got some of the similar flavors in there, but than what I remember. But this is actually it definitely tastes fresher. It's supposed to be this 2-year-old bottle. I get a little more intense flavors up front. The amazing thing about this beer, and I know everyone gushes over it, is the fact that 10.2%, Can't smell any alcohol in the nose. Can't taste any alcohol whatsoever. It's just amazing how smooth this beer is. I've yet to try a Trappist style ale, or even some of those other Belgian Abbey ales that are dark ales like this beer, that are this smooth and hide the alcohol so well. Up front, a lot of carbonation. Kind of let the bubbles kind of scrub in your tongue. Flavors, there's like a little bit of like an apple pear character in there, kind of like something you'd get with a British style beer. But then it turns into the typical quad aspects. Major plum, major raisin on this beer. Touch of fig. The yeast strain leaves a nice dry finish. No alcohol whatsoever on the taste. I mean, there's a vinous quality in there. It's like you're getting dark red grapes. Malt-wise, you get like this dark caramel into like brown sugar notes. So I mean, you have that playing. It's just a very complex beer. That's why people like this beer, I think, so much, because of all the things I mentioned. It's smooth, it's complex. It's also hard to find. That helps. You know, there's kind of the saying, rare tastes better. That's certainly the case with this one, I would say. If you could drink this on a regular basis, you might not find it as remarkable. But then again, you can get a fine beer like Chimay Grand Reserve, which is in the style, and it's a world-class beer. But I mean, I'm gonna have to choose this one over Chimay, even though, you know, that's taking into account many things. But this is a fine example of a quad. There is a slight spice note in there, kind of towards the back of the tongue I'm getting. It's very mild. I wouldn't call it peppery. Just more like an earthy spiciness in there. Yeah, and then you can sit here just kind of sipping on this all day and start picking up new notes. Like I'm just starting to pick up some of that, like much more of the grape character on there. That kind of the vinous quality that's in there kind of lends to almost not too vinous like some of the beers I reviewed, but it's got like a nice kind of like dark kind of, you know, red grape character. Yeah, the carbonation is so spot on, because some of these Belgian beers can be so highly carbonated that it really takes a while. But I mean, look at the lacing it's leaving. You can also see the alcohol feed on there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but some real nice lacing. It seems like almost this might be like a fresher bottle than like 2 years. Like usually you don't see a 2-year-old beer leaving this kind of lacing. I mean, the head's starting to fade, but this is a 10.2% beer. It doesn't have a lot of hops. Hops generally help with head retention. And they're using a lot of probably dark candied sugar in this beer to get it up to that 10.2%. And that just helps dry out the beer. It doesn't help with the characteristics of like head retention or anything like that. It almost has a creamy mouthfeel to it, which is not something you expect with a quad. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's definitely a sipper of beer. I'm going to take my time with this one. I don't know when I'll ever get a bottle again, so just going to really sip on this thing, enjoy it. I almost want to do this review and just say like, hey, I'm doing Westy 12, and then just have a bunch of mumbo jumbo and just show something like, well, you know how it is. Because I mean, there's plenty of people that review this. I know my take's not any different really than most of you. I mean, do I think this is the best beer in the world? No, I don't. I enjoy quads. It's not my favorite style. This is definitely the best example I've had of the style though. So I'm going to give it an A. It's an excellent beer. Why am I giving it an A+? Well, I don't know, it's hard to say. It really is close to an A+ beer. I think I'm not giving it A+ because I don't know when I'll ever get it again. It's so hard to find. Availability. I'm going to take that into account for this. Okay guys, that's going to wrap it up for the Trappist Westvleteren 12. I believe that's about as close as I can get to pronouncing that correctly. Fantastic beer. I'm going to go with an A. It's borderline A+. If you want to give A+, whatever. Grading doesn't on this matter. Just if you haven't tried this beer and you're a beer geek, you have to try it at least once. Check it out. Maybe you'll think it's overrated. Maybe you think it's properly rated. I'm going to say it's probably properly rated. It's a fantastic beer for all the qualities I mentioned. So it's going to wrap it up for episode 99. I was going to maybe do this for 100, but I think I'm going to break out some, to me at least, it's maybe a little more special than this one. So I'm going to tease you for episode 100. So until next time, please comment and subscribe. Cheers.